everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Shelly's Millions. In today's video, I want to go over a couple of myths about the LWA program that will give us a $300 boost to our unemployment payments. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I know a lot of people have been wondering, they can't quite remember if they're phase 1 or phase 2, and that's how they're rolling it out here in California. People in phase 1 are going to start to see their payments first, and people in phase 2 will start to see their payments later. I will share a potential trick to help you figure out if you are phase 1 or phase 2 if you don't remember. So make sure to watch this video to the end. If I could ask everybody, if you've been appreciating these videos, please take a moment to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share the video with anyone who might find it useful. I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel, and that really helps the algorithm push my videos out to more people. And if you're not subscribed yet, let me know what I can improve on, what you guys want to see from me in order to get you to subscribe. So the first myth about those LWA payments, at least here in California, that I want to talk about is we were supposed to be paid in a lump sum for 3 weeks of back payments. There was even a news article from the LA Times this morning that said we were going to be paid in a lump sum. But as I'm sure you guys are starting to see, some people have started to see 1 week's worth of payments for $300. So that payment is for the week ending August 1st. So that is the first myth, is that it's not going to be paid in a lump sum. We don't know yet if the other $600 will be paid in a lump sum. So we're just going to have to wait and find out. Now, I don't want people to worry, even if you know that you're part of phase 1. And phase 1 includes everyone on a PUA claim. So if you are on a PUA claim, you are definitely part of phase 1. But the EDD did say that it could take weeks to roll out the retroactive payments to people on unemployment. So it can still take a couple of weeks, so don't worry if you haven't seen that $300 just yet. The second myth that has been busted is that there is only enough in the LWA program for Californians to receive 3 weeks of payments. And although that seems to be what they'll be issuing to us first, we just found out for sure that we've been approved for 5 weeks of payments. Now, there is a website that I like. It's called unemploymentpua.com. That website has been reporting for several weeks that there are 5 weeks of payments approved. But yesterday, there's a bunch of tweets going out from the state that are confirming that we've actually been approved for those funds by FEMA. So we know that in California, we will receive at least 5 weeks of payments, $1,500 in total, that will all be retroactive in total. We just don't quite know when that will go out yet. And I'll be watching the states of Arizona and Texas really closely to see if they get paid for week 6. Those were the first 2 states to be able to actually pay people the extra $300 a week. And so I think it will be a really good sign if those states are able to pay their residents for week 6. That doesn't necessarily guarantee that California will be also paid for week 6, but it would be a step in the right direction. This brings me to myth 3. Myth 3 is that because we're receiving it the week of the 7th, that is the $300 payment for the week of September 7th. And that is absolutely not true. So that first retroactive payment is for the week of 7/26 through 8/1. And if you go in your claim history, that's where you could see if you've been paid that or not. Though some people are reporting that it was loaded right onto their EDD debit card and they don't actually see the update in their claim history. If you do go into claim history, you can't just look at that week and the payment. You actually need to click a button to the right that says transactions, and then that would be the area that you would see if you have that $300 payment or not. The second week is going to cover August 2nd through August 8th. The third week will cover August 9th through August 15th, and that is what the EDD is working on sending out right now. So right now it's hard to say if they will send out all of week 1, then all of week 2, then all of week 3, or after they kind of get the ball up and rolling, will they be able to pay weeks 2 and 3 all at once, or will they go ahead and pay all the other 4 weeks? So the other 2 weeks that we know we're getting retro payments for are August 16th through August 22nd and August 23rd through August 29th. And those are the weeks that are being paid regardless of when you receive that payment. That brings me to myth number 4, which is that the LWA $300 payment is tied into your certification dates. Since people started receiving the money on Friday, we now know that it does not have anything to do with your certification date. Those funds can actually show up in your account at any time. So keep an eye on your EDD debit card. If you want to, you can set up text alerts for when deposits have been made, and you would do that on the Bank of America EDD debit card website. And you can check your UI online claims history and then transaction for those payments. But it doesn't look like it's going to correlate at all with the certification dates. So, if you didn't get it this past time, you don't necessarily have to wait all the way until your next certification or the certification after that. The funds just will appear whenever they are ready for you. The 5th myth that I want to talk about is people are saying that if your starting weekly benefit is above $100, but you work and earn some money and that brings your benefit below $100, that you won't get the boost. Now, you do still need a starting weekly benefit amount above $100, but as long as you get paid something from your unemployment office, it does need to be above $1. So if you earn so much that week that your unemployment office doesn't pay you anything, you wouldn't qualify that week. But as long as the EDD or your unemployment office pays you at least $1 or more, then you will still get that payment of $300 boost as long as your starting weekly benefit amount was above $100. Myth number 6 is that if you check the box requesting that taxes be withheld from your weekly benefit amount, and that brings your payment amount below $100, that you wouldn't qualify for the $300 boost. That is also not true. Again, it has nothing to do with the amount after earnings or after taxes. It's your base weekly benefit amount. So whatever amount was listed on your award letter, if it's $167, as long as you make more than $1 either after taxes or after earnings, you still qualify for the boost. The last myth, and I wish that this was true, but it's not. The last myth is that you will not owe any taxes on that extra $300. A lot of people think that if you check the box that says that you want taxes withheld, that you're covered for the end of the year. But for whatever reason, the California EDD is not able to withhold taxes from these boost amounts. And this was true for the $600 amount as well. We will owe federal tax on the $300. The EDD is not able to withhold taxes on that amount, even if you check the box. So it looks like the EDD has been withholding about 10%. So that means that for each $300 payment, you're gonna wanna save about $30 of that away for tax time. Now, of course, that depends on your individual tax situation, having more dependents or children. That will lower your overall tax liability and you might still be okay, but I would recommend saving at least 10% or $30 from each $300 payment for tax time. That way you're not unprepared when that rolls around. And furthermore, I recommend saving that money in a high interest savings account if you can. Like I used to use Wells Fargo and I would be happy if I got like a penny in interest, but you can actually make a little bit of interest if you sign up for a high interest savings account. And some of the ones that I like are HSBC Bank and Ally Bank. Those have a little bit higher interest rates than your more traditional bank. Credit unions also tend to have a bit of a higher interest rate on their savings account than your traditional bank does. But even if you don't put it in a high interest savings account, you still want to save that money somewhere where you kind of won't touch it, where you won't use it, so that you will have that tax time. Now, here in California, we don't pay state tax on our unemployment, so that's good. That part is true. No state taxes will be owed, but we will owe federal tax on that $300. Now, if you're in California and you are wondering if you might be phase 2 because you don't quite remember if you answered a COVID-related question when you first filed for unemployment, so that would be those of us who filed probably early to mid-March and we didn't use the drop-down menu to select either pandemic or I think public health issue. If we didn't check that box as yes, that could mean that we're part of phase 2, and this might be a way to tell. Now again, the wording would not be an indicator if you are on a PUA claim. This is just for those of us who are on a regular UI unemployment claim. This might be a way to tell. So when you first go on to certify or on your main homepage, there's going to be some wording about your work search requirements. And if your work search requirement says you must be able and available to work and you must look for work each week, that could be an indicator that you are part of phase 2, because people that enrolled afterward or people that correctly chose that they were unemployed due to a disaster, their wording only says you must be able and available to look for work. It doesn't say that extra little piece, quote, and look for work each week. So it's very similar wording, but there is a subtle difference, and that might be a way to tell. Again, if you're on PUA, that doesn't apply to you. You could have the same wording, but you're still going to be part of phase 1 because everybody on a PUA claim is already assumed to be out of work due to a COVID-related reason. So that's just for those of us that are on regular UI claims. And I'm not even 100% sure on that, but it might be a clue. So let me know in the comments down below if you're on a regular UI claim, what your wording is, and if you think I'm right about that, or if you know I'm wrong about that. You know I love to know. Let me know if you've got your $300 payment, if you haven't received your $300 payment. I do have faith that we will all get it eventually. It is just a matter of when. And for those of us on phase 2, we will start to get the paperwork sent out that we need to fill out starting September 15th. So that doesn't necessarily mean it'll be right on September 15th that we will get that paperwork, but starting sometime around then is when we should start to see that. And make sure to keep a lookout in your mail, your UI online messages, and it could be sent via text notification that you need to check your mail or your UI online messages. But you do want to send that form back very quickly to make sure that you are paid promptly. And initially when they were saying that payments were going to go out on the 7th, but phase 2 couldn't even do their self-certification until the 15th, that seemed like so much time. But at this point, that's just a little over a week away. So hopefully once we get that self-certification back, we will start to see that money as well for those of us like me who are in phase 2. If you guys are interested in trying out the stock market, it is risky. It's not guaranteed that you can make money. You can certainly lose money. But if it's something that you've been interested in, that you were gonna try out anyway, I really like the stock trading app Webull, where after an initial deposit of $100, you can get a free stock valued anywhere from between $8 all the way up to $1,600. So if you use my link, please let me know in the description down below which stock you got. And thank you so much for watching Shelly's Millions. I upload videos on Mondays and Thursdays, and sometimes extra if anything really important comes out regarding the unemployment information. So I will see you next time.